Hello. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. We are here this afternoon to celebrate World Scleroderma Day 2021. We are honored to have two speakers and one additional. We have Miss Zenaida Jose Averilia to discuss about coping with chronic illness. And we also have Juna Pamela to discuss about makeup for scleroderma. Before anything else, we'd like to start with a prayer. Let me share my screen for a while.
Almighty Father, we praise and thank you for this day. You have given us another opportunity to appreciate life and to fulfill our mission as your instrument of peace and progress. Please pardon us for our shortcomings. Help us to amend our impieties. May we learn to pattern our lives through your Son's example. Father, bless all our endeavors, especially today's meeting. Guide us in our discussions. Enlighten our minds in every decision that we make. Give us your grace that we may effectively do our parts as public servants. Bless our plans, programs, and projects so that we may achieve our objectives for your greater glory. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Okay, for our first part, let me share with you Miss Zenaida Jose Averilia is our first speaker, but unfortunately, she's not available to join us this afternoon. So just a brief background of Miss Zenaida. She was diagnosed with scleroderma and lupus since 2001. So she's sharing her some notes Okay. To share some of Miss Zenaida's notes. The topic of her document is how to cope with chronic illness. Being diagnosed with a long-term health condition can be frightening and disorienting. Once you move beyond the initial shock of your diagnosis, it's helpful to learn how to cope with the daily stress of living with your illness. The first part of her her slide, it would be understand your condition. When you're living with a long-term condition, it can be helpful to learn everything you can about your symptoms and treatment options. But she also mentioned that it's better to ask your doctor specific questions about your condition. But she also mentions please don't stop there. Patient associations or patients with lived experience are also good resources for increasing your knowledge base. Understanding your condition also includes understanding our body. Our body is not the enemy. Yes, we are vulnerable to illness and injury, so our body also deserves compassion and not anger. We should also learn how to observe our own body, pay close attention to what seems to ease our symptoms and make them work. We can use a notebook or calendar to record trends and other insights that might help manage our symptoms. It's also helpful to share your notes with your doctors so your healthcare team can better understand how your condition affects you. The more we know about our condition, the better we are equipped to understand what's happening and why. Make your doctor a partner in care. We should take responsibility for listening to your doctor. One way to do this is to listen to our body and track its changes. Part of the treatment for almost any chronic condition involves lifestyle changes. Next is beware of depression. Dark, dreary moods plague a third or more of people with chronic illnesses. Everyone is susceptible to the effects of stress. In addition to everyday changes that most people face, chronic illness adds new layers of stressors. Some examples are we need to learn to cope with pain or discomfort from our symptoms. We need to take steps to manage our condition and self-care. We also need to adjust our lifestyle. We also need to manage the increase in financial pressures. We also need to learn how to cope with our feelings of frustration, confusion, or isolation. We also need to learn about how to manage our emotions. The all-encompassing nature of the chronic illness and the ways it disrupts our lives and plans can elicit a wide range of emotions. These responses may include stress, grief, rage, fear, depression, and anxiety. We should learn how to experiment with different ways of managing stress and painful emotions. Some ideas can include listening to music, deep breathing, meditation, writing a journal, cooking, reading, and spending quality time with yourself. We should also learn how to manage relationships because relationships are also important when you have a chronic condition. You may find that you have limited energy and time available for socializing. So some friends and family may not understand the challenges we are facing. We should also learn how to make smart choices about where to focus our time and energy so we can live our life in the best possible way. We should also learn to focus on relationships that are most important to us and learn to let go of relationships that add more stress than support our life. It should also keep in mind that it's not our fault that we are having these health problems. It can also be noted that everyone struggles with his or her health at some point in their life. So don't make things worse by adding self blame to your challenges. We should learn to accept that life is uncertain, unpredictable, and doesn't always conform to our wishes as the first step toward making peace with our condition. circumstances. And we don't spend precious energy worrying about others' views of our medical condition. And lastly, Ma'am Zenaida wants to impart on us to always have a positive outlook in life, smile, and always remember that God loves us. These are the two references wherein the slides were taken from. Thank you. So if anybody has questions or comments, just feel free to use the comment box or you can comment directly as I'm speaking. So, Doc Claire, you have any comment about what I just read?
Hi. So, good afternoon to everyone. So, a proud Sclero cutie here from Baguio City. Um, yes, yun. Totoo po yung mga iyon na ano nga, marami tayong challenges pag tayo ay may scleroderma. Okay? Um, I would like to share my slides para makita lang natin kung gaano kataas ang ating stress level. Alright. So I know that iba-iba yung ating dates kung kailan tayo na-diagnose and lahat tayo ay may mga pinagdaraanan habang dinadiagnose pa lang tayo. Okay? So wherever you are in the stage of our disease in having this scleroderma, so meron tayo pa rin same level of stress, I believe. Pero ito, mas maganda kung mag-gauge natin kung gaano nga kataas. Parang hirap po akong i-share ang slides ko. Can I ask help? Assist na lang po pa-share ng slides. Thank you. Okay, so...
Lang, Doc. Sandali lang po.
Okay. So we're in a pandemic, so that adds more sa stresses na meron tayo. Can you comment while waiting in our chat box kung kamusta naman ang panahon sa inyo? Dito kasi maulan. So can we have a roll call? So anybody from the south, kamusta po sa inyo dyan? Maulan din po. Hopefully safe naman po, hindi
Sorry po
kayo
nagloloko yata
binabaha.
yung mga internet natin eh. Nandito kami
Oo
sa
nga,
Marikina, medyo malakas yung ulan. Medyo
dito rin po malakas.
medyo baha na nga eh. Meron na kaming unwanted visitor sa garahe namin. Sorry hindi ko rin ma-download doc yung slides mo.
Oh, sandali lang. Ako din eh, malakas din kasi
Si
ulan dito.
Can you share the slides of Doc Claire? Wala na rin yata si Chi. Wait Wait lang po, nagloloko yung mga internet connection namin.
Oo nga, pero nonetheless, okay, kahit naman maulan sa ating mga areas, masaya po tayo at magkakasama po tayong lahat today. Right?
Oo nga.
Okay, so,
Tama.
oo. O another, please comment naman kung ilang years na kayong na-diagnose na meron kayong scleroderma. Ilang years na kayong nakikita.
Ako po, diagnosed na ako with scleroderma since 2006. So, 15 years na akong may scleroderma. Lahat nung binasa ko kanina, I'm trying to practice. But basically, pag tinatanong ako ng mga tao kung paano ako nakaka-cope or kung paano ang gubaga functioning pa ako up to present, I would always tell them na unang-una, regular ang check-up ko with my doctors. I usually tell them na napakalaki ng paniwala ko, ng faith ko, at ng trust ko sa doctors ko. Be it the rheumatologist, the gastro, or the pulmonologist, basta sa pag sinabi ng doktor, almost always sinusunod ko siya. Tapos masunurin din po ako sa pag-inom ng gamot, tsaka sa regular check-up. Kahit na ngayon, mahirap ang face-to-face check-up sa atin, I make it a point na regular yung laboratories and other procedures ko. Tapos, kung hindi ako pwede mag face-to-face, I usually do, teleconsult with the rheumatologist. Chi, meron ka ng slides ni Doc Kleng?
Yep. Wait lang. Share ko lang yung screen ko. Kita niyo na? Doc Claire?
Okay na, yan na. Nakikita ko na. The title of the document is Minding the Pandemic Within the Pandemic by Dr. Frances Claire Ortiz Salino. Okay, Doc, the floor is yours.
So, let's mind the pandemic within the pandemic. So, next slide, please. So, basically, I believe this is not only to raise awareness and to prevent the stigma of discrimination in the workplace by providing basic information and education on mental health. So, I also believe that this is a great help to everyone who is living within the pandemic and living with scleroderma. Okay, so next slide, please. So, when we say health, so what do we actually mean? Okay. So, parang meron tayong mga eras kasi yung pre-pandemic, ano yung ibig sabihin natin sa health. Okay. So, next slide. So, when we say health, okay, so it is the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being and not merely the absence of any disease or infirmity. So, that is to the World Health Organization. So, very important na even though that we have, okay, this physical, okay, disease, we maintain our state of good health mentally and socially, right? So next slide, please. So for this, we would like to focus on mental health, right? So when we say mental health, according to WHO, this is the state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential and can cope with the normal stresses of life, okay, can work productively and fruitfully and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. Okay, so hindi naman ibig sabihin na meron tayong scleroderma, hindi natin 'to magagawa. Okay, so let's just think that that is only one facet of having good health. So if we keep at least yung ating mind and social status, parang 2/3 na yon. Okay, so that would mean that we are really keeping up with good health. Okay, next slide please. Okay, so ito, according to statistics, 1 in 5 Filipinos has some form of mental illness. Okay, next please. Okay, so in the workplace, so ayan, this is where, okay, we have these numbers. Okay, so I believe that the numbers do not lie. Okay, so when we say these numbers, okay, so ito na yon, about mental health illness. Okay, ano sabi nila dito sa numbers na ito. So let's look first dito sa far end mo. So mental illness led to the loss of about 70 million working days. Okay, so maraming absences dahil dyan. Okay, 57%. They have an organization-wide mental health well-being plan. So it is good that most of our workplaces now, okay, kino-consider na nila na important facet of life ang magkaroon din ng good mental health. Okay? So there is this rate also that 76% trust reports that they monitor the well-being of their staff, and 1 in 4, okay, at least will have one mental health problem in 1 year. Okay, so these numbers are variable. Okay, so I would like to move to the next slide. Okay, that is in the US. Okay, so the next slide is on the Philippine situation. Okay, next please. Yan. So sa Philippines, okay, 7 to 20% of Filipino adults will experience some form of psychiatric disorder. And in children, there are 10 to 15%. Okay, so medyo marami yon. So it is the third most common cause of morbidity for Filipinos. So ibig sabihin, first kasi is more on our heart attack. Yun kasi yung sa first. Okay? So second is sa cancers, and then third is itong mental health. So ganun na siya ngayon, umaakyat doon sa ladder ng may mga sakit. Okay? And then as to the budget, parang 5% lang of the health department's total annual budget goes to mental health. Okay? Hindi siya masyadong nabibigyan ng halaga, but nonetheless, okay, institution and professionals, okay, konti rin yung mga nakadeploy na nakakatulong dito. So, there is really a need for mental health care. Ang sabi kasi nila, post ng any calamity, like yung before yung Typhoon Yolanda, 800,000 Filipinos suffered from mental health in the form of depression, anxiety disorders, post-traumatic stress disorders. Okay? And of course, yun nga, pag meron din tayong chronic disease, okay, na-add on din doon yung pagkakaroon natin ng mental health. Right? So next slide please. Okay. So mental health is important. We need to listen, okay, to understand, and most importantly, to accept. Okay. So next slide please. What is good about the Philippines is that we have already yung Philippine Mental Health Law. Yun yung Republic Act number 11036. Okay? So the special provisions of this is that yun nga, it secures the rights and welfare of persons with mental health needs, as well as mental health professionals. It integrates psychosocial, psychiatric, and neurological services in regional, provincial, and tertiary hospitals. And it also provides mental health services all the way down to the barangay level. And it improves the mental health care facilities. And it also promotes the mental health education in schools and workplaces. Okay? So, ito, state of mental health care in the Philippines, 2.5%. Okay? Statistics from the National Center for Mental Health. Okay? The rate of suicide is at 2.5% for men and 1.7% for women per 100,000 members of the population. So this is quite alarming. Okay? So it's also part of the expanded PhilHealth coverage. So with this passing, meron nakapackage na kasi na worth 7,800. So just in case you get admitted and malagay doon um, sa case mo sa hospital na you have this chronic disease, along with that is yung meron kang kaakibat na mental health problem, meron ding nakaalat doon na PhilHealth coverage. Okay? Alright, so let's now move on, okay, to COVID-19. Okay, so sa COVID-19, next slide please. Meron na tayong sinasabi nating new normal. Okay, so next slide. Lahat tayo naka-experience na nito. So what is COVID-19? So yun nga, it is a disease, okay, caused by the virus SARS-CoV-2. Okay, yung sakit, yun yung COVID-19. Okay, so it belongs to the coronavirus family. Okay, so you can just review this link later on. Okay, if we have time, it just tells us what the coronavirus is. Okay, so next slide please. So how is it spread? So droplet transmission pa rin to. Okay, and how do we prevent its spread? Kaya nga tayo nakasuot pa rin ngayon ng face mask and face shield. Okay, and then as much as possible, stay at home pa rin tayo. And what to do if we are going out, at least we maintain yung dapat yung physical distancing natin, right, na at least 1 meter. Okay, and then yun, frequent hand washing. Okay, so next slide please. So ito, very important na laging kasama natin ngayon is yung soap and water every chance na meron tayong maghugas ng kamay, right? And then hand sanitizers. All right? So next slide please. Meron din itong mga sinasabi nilang mga variants. So kalat na ngayon yung variants na ito. So latest yung pinangtatakot sa atin is yung Delta variant, and we should be really be afraid of these variants, okay? Kasi nga mas nakakahawa siya at saka mas nagpo-pose ng risk lalo na sa atin na may scleroderma kasi considered na mahina yung ating resistensya. Okay, all right? So, another issue dito sa ating new normal is yung COVID vaccine. Okay? So, sa chat box, paki-chat naman kung meron na kayong 1 or 2 doses or wala pang vaccine. Okay? Para at least mas aware din tayo kung sino sa atin na ang mga naka-vaccine. Okay? So, congratulations doon sa mga naka-vaccine na sa inyo, at least 1 dose, because yun nga, vaccine saves lives. Okay? Mahaba yung road to development to these vaccines, and we are lucky to be part of the priority group to receive this vaccine. Okay? Okay. So, just a short preview. So, yun nga, ang ano natin is be your own hero tayo. So, kahit na meron tayong ganitong sakit, pag nagpa-vaccine tayo, ibig sabihin in our way, okay, na ano na rin tayo. We are our own hero. Sumasama tayo dun sa laban against COVID-19. Okay, so next slide. So the new normal, now, poses, okay, next slide. Ito nga yung mental health. Next slide please. And COVID-19, right? So we are looking forward now to a better normal. Okay, so parang mas magandang term natin is yung sa better normal, right? So next slide please. Next slide please. Okay. So I would just like to focus on stress. Okay? So pag sinabing stress, these are the feelings of fear, anger, sadness, worry, numbness, or frustration. Okay? So pag minsan nararamdaman natin to, nagkakaroon tayo ng changes in appetite, desires, and interests. Okay, so changes in appetite, yung iba hindi makakain, yung iba sobra kong kumain, energy, parang feeling mo lagi kang lowbat lagi. Okay? So desires and interest, yung mga dati mong gustong ginagawa, parang ngayon ayaw mo na rin siyang gawin. Alright? Tapos meron din pag stress tayo, pwede rin magkaroon ng difficulty in concentration at saka yun yung pagde-decision making natin. Okay? So parang mas na-aggravate pa ito kasi nga nasa pandemic tayo, right? Yung iba din sa atin, difficulty in sleeping or minsan nagkakaroon tayo ng mga nightmares. Okay? So, sino sa inyo dito yung may mga ganyan? Okay? I do hope this can help you. And then, we also have some physical reactions. So, sabi nga nila kung minsan pag stress lang yan, nasa isip lang yan, minsan nagmamanifest din siya kasi through our body. So, ang pwedeng sign na may stress ka kung karoon ka ng frequent na headaches, body pains, okay? Stomach problems, minsan lagi kang natatae or kung minsan, ayun nga, problema ang pagtae. And then, yun, skin rashes. Meron din kasi yung iba na sa skin lumalabas yung kanilang physical manifestation of stress. Right? So next, worsening of health problems. So ito yung ayaw nating mangyari. Kasi nga, meron na tayong scleroderma and we are having this war inside our body. Okay? So pag stressed pa tayo, pwedeng mas maging worse pa yung mga nararamdaman natin ngayon. Right? So next slide please. Ayun, additional pala, worsening of our health condition. Okay, so it will become now a cycle. And then, ito medyo sad din kasi yung iba, nag-i-increase yung use nila ng other substances such as tobacco, alcohol, okay, which is not good for your body kasi nga you already have a condition and then kung mag-add on pa tayo ng use of these substances, kesa na hindi na siya mas makaka-add on siya sa stress ng ating body. Alright? Okay. So, what are the impact? Okay, so ano yung mga pwedeng magawa? So, there are at least 3 different types of stress. Okay? Pwedeng yung isang stress, routine stress. Ito yung stress na related sa work, family, and other daily responsibilities. Another is yung stress brought about by your sudden negative change, such as losing a job, divorce, or an illness, okay, or losing someone. And then next type of your stress is your traumatic stress, which is when you experience a dangerous event like a major accident, war, natural disaster. Okay, so all of these types would carry physical and mental risks, right? So let's move to the next slide. Okay, so ito, please get a pen and a paper and answer the following questions. So indicate the corresponding point to each question. So for example, yung number 1, ang choice mo is 2, ilalagay natin doon. Alright? And then later on, we will try to get your score. Okay? So let's move to the first question. Okay? So number 1. So how was your sleep last night? Okay? Kung walang pen and paper, sige, lagyan na lang natin sa chat box. Is it 1, 2, or 3 kung ano ang sagot nyo? Is it really good? So if it's really good, please key in 1. And then if it's number 2, I slept but I still felt tired when I woke up. Okay, so please key in number 2. And if it is number 3, I am trying but I have not slept much. Okay, so may mga 3. Okay. May mga 2, kagaya ko, 2. Okay? Sige. Keep the answers going. Okay? So remember yung mga sagot nyo yan, ha? Okay, next. Number 2 question. How much worries, okay, do you have right now? Okay? You can key in 1, not too bad. 2, lots of little things but not too serious. Number 3, my worries are bothering me and it happens a lot. Okay, answer 1, 2, or 3. Okay, meron na bang nag-key in ng number 3? Okay. Sino pa? Sino ang number 1? Okay, key in tayo. Okay. Okay, number 2. Okay. Sige. So let's move to the next question. How is your mood generally? Okay. Is it number 1, I am moody sometimes? Number 2, I often feel sad or angry or irritable or numb. Number 3, almost all days I feel sad or angry or irritable or numb. All right. Key in your answer please for question number 3. Okay. O saan kayo dyan? 1, 2, or 3? 1. Okay. Sige, mag-answer ng 1. Answer din ng 2. Alright. Okay. Oh, but hindi tayo dito ha, judgmental ha. You just key in kung ano talaga yung sa nararamdaman nyo kasi maganda rin tong assessment sa atin. Alright. So question number 4. Okay. How strong is your social network? Okay. Right, number 1, I have friends and family and we stay connected. Right, number 2, just fine. I connect with others, but I have a few friends. Okay, number 3, not great. I feel lonely and wish to have more friends. All right, so please key in your answer doon sa ating number 4. How strong is your social network now? Okay, if it's 1, 2, or 3. Okay. Okay. So ready na? Okay, let's go to question number 5. Okay, so number 5. Are you still doing things that you enjoy? Okay, key in 1 if your answer is yes. I make sure I make time to do activities that I enjoy. Number 2, sometimes, but I do not enjoy my activities as much as I used to. Number 3, not really, and I am avoiding activities that I enjoyed before. Right. 1, 2, or 3. Okay. And number 6. Okay. Number 6 question. Okay. So number 6, how stressed are you right now? Okay. Number 1, not bad. I can still put things in the proper perspective. Number 2, regular signs of stress, but still managing. Number 3, too stressed. I feel tense and anxious most of the time. Okay, so let's just be honest and sabihin kung saan na tayo dito. Kung saan na natin sa palagay yung stress level natin. Okay, I see some answers, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And, ito na. Last question, number 7. Okay, overall, how do you feel right now? Okay, so key in number 1 if you feel generally well and supported. Number 2, if you are mostly okay, but some days are better than other days. And number 3, I feel awful and not myself at all. Okay. So before we move to the next slide, okay, siguro maganda rin i-add na natin ngayon yung mga na-answer natin from number 1 to number 7. Okay? So balik na lang kayo doon sa chat box para makita nyo kung ano yung mga naisagot nyo doon sa mga ibang numbers. Okay? So i-add natin lahat ng mga numbers na yon from number 1 to number 7. Alright. Now please key in kung ilan yung total nyo. Okay, paki-key in kung ilan yung total nyo doon sa questions number 1 to number 7. Okay, so I see some scores right now. So let's move to the next slide and try to look at the interpretation. All right, so the highest score is 21. Okay, so parang wala namang naka-reach noon. So ibig sabihin pag 21, um, okay siya. Walang masyadong stress sa buhay. So if your score is between 11 to 12, then you have moderate number of issues to be addressed. Okay? So pag yung near 21, there is a reason for concern, and addressing such concern may require further assessment. Okay? So, ang ano nito, pag mas mataas yung doon sa score mo, okay, mas mataas yung stress level mo. Okay? So, next slide, please. Next slide. So, ano lang, ibig sabihin arbitrary yung scoring natin dito. Hindi siya talaga absolute. So, ibig sabihin, this is just your state ngayon na nag-test tayo nito. Baka makalawa, pag ulitin natin yung test na ito is magbago na siya. So, dito ayaw natin ng mataas ng score because the higher the score, the higher the risk for mental health issues or concerns. Right? So, next slide, please. So, with that, okay, let's just try this. So, alam nyo na ngayon yung level of stress nyo. So, hindi naman masama na nandun kayo sa stage ng level ng stress nyo. Ang maganda, we have some healthy ways to cope with stress, right? So, 7 questions. Next slide. We also have yung 7 types of rest. Okay? Kasi di ba kapag stressed ka, anong iniisip mo? Stressed ako, parang gusto kong magpahinga. Di ba usually ganun ang ating isip ngayon. So, doon sa 7 na questions na ngayon, we also have these 7 types of rest. Right? So, ang first of the techniques is, of course, physical rest. So, let's sleep. So, passive physical rest, sleeping and napping can give you that extra energy that we need. Right? So, wag nating pilitin kapag hindi ka pa inaantok. Okay? So, nap is good for you. Yung mga power nap na sinasabi. Right? So, next slide, please. We also have that physical rest in the form of your active physical rest. So, ito yung mga restorative activities that would help your body improve the body circulation and flexibility. So, yoga, stretching, tsaka massage. Pwede rin yung form of your physical rest. Okay? So, number 2, we move to the next slide. Yun, mag-take din tayo ng mental rest. So, mental rest, ayoko munang mag-isip, stressed ako. Okay? So, you schedule short breaks. Okay? You remind yourself to slow down. So, a break every 2 hours throughout the day would be enough. Okay? So, pag marami kang masyadong iniisip, please jot them down. Maganda rin na meron kang notepad, okay? Or yung doon sa phone mo, yung notes mo doon, pwede ka doon mag-jot down ng mga nagging thoughts that always keep you awake. Yung mga hindi ka makatulog, kakaisip ng kung ano-ano, isulat mo na lang sila doon. Para pag naisulat mo na silang lahat, then sabihin mo sa sarili mo, hindi ko na sila iisipin, matutulog na ako. Right? So in that way, you have that mental rest. Okay? So let's move to the next. Sensory rest. So ito naman yung intentional moments of sensory deprivation. So give your senses a break from bright lights, computer screens, noises, and conversations. Okay? So, wag gamiting pampatulog ang pagsi-cellphone. Okay? Wag gamiting pampatulog ang pagbukas ng different apps. Okay? Important na meron tayo nito, sensory rest. So, let's close our eyes for a minute. Okay? And intentionally unplug ourselves from any of the electronics that we have at home. Right? So, let's move to the next. So, ito, sabi, take a break. So, take a break from watching, reading, or listening to news stories. Basta yung rest na yun, walang senses na gumagana. Okay? So, next is your creative rest. Okay, so ito naman, usong-uso ngayon, maging plantita tayo. So, we appreciate nature, okay? Or if not, we recall a good memory. Isipin natin nung kailan yung last time na nagpunta tayo sa beach or nagpunta tayong climbing, okay? So, allow yourself to enjoy the beauty of outdoors. Okay? Lalo na kung hindi naman tayo makalabas ngayon, lalo nga sa condition natin. So, let's try to appreciate nature by pwede tayo virtual tour. Okay? Tignan natin yung places na gusto nating pasyalan, mga ganon. So, in that way, we are appreciating nature. Okay? And then, if you're working, then turn your workplace into a place of inspiration. So, you can display images of places you love and works of art. Okay? That speak to you. Okay. Kung mahilig ka naman sa plants, pwede ka rin mag-add on sa workplace mo. Right? So, yun yung creative rest na sinasabi. Okay. So, next is your emotional rest. Okay? So, take the courage to be authentic. Kapag minsan may nagtanong sa'yo, how are you? Okay? It's okay not to say I'm not okay. Okay? So, please remember that. That is a form of you having emotional rest. Okay? So, have time and space to freely express your feelings and cut back on people pleasing. Okay? So, um, let's just be honest enough to them and tell that we are not feeling okay. So, kung pwede, sa ganito ko na lang isubmit yung report ko kasi hindi po okay ang pakiramdam ko ngayon. So, that will also be healthy for you. Okay? So, yun. Have time and space to freely express yourself. Okay? So, next is your social rest. So, know that to differentiate your relationships that revive us from those that exhaust us. Surround yourself with positive and supportive people, even if it's virtually. Turn on your camera and focus on who you're speaking to. Okay? So, buti na lang, meron tayong Scleroderma Awareness Philippines. So, ito yung ano natin, pwedeng maging safe haven. Meron tayong mga positive people to be around with, right? So, last of which will be your spiritual rest. Okay? So, let's engage in something greater than yourself, whatever your religion may be. So, try to find something that will connect beyond your physical and mental rest. Okay? And feel a deep sense of belonging, love, acceptance, and of course, purpose. Okay, so you pray, meditate, and add community involvement into your daily routine. Okay, there's always somebody who is more in need than us. So if there is a means that you can help them, then that is a form of your spiritual rest as well. All right. So thank you for listening. Okay. So I'll end my short sharing here already. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Claire. By the way, Dr. Claire is she's she's a scleroderma patient just like us, but she's also a medical doctor. She's an active consultant in a clinic in Baguio City. She's a registered medical technologist and a doctor of medicine practicing pediatrics and public health as well. So thank you, Dr. Claire. Even in such a short notice, you were able to share something with us today. Okay, so moving on to the next topic, we have Juna. Her topic is on makeup for scleroderma. Miss Juna is also one of our members. She studied BS Nursing in Centro Escolar University. She's working as a operations manager in a BPO. She's a makeup enthusiast That's why this is her special topic of interest. And then she's a mother of two boys. She was searching for diagnosis since 2019, but she only had the formal diagnosis early this year. So good afternoon. Let us welcome Miss Juna De La Cruz.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. So, thank you, Miss Wang, for the introduction. So, just one. Medyo kinakabahan ako actually. This is the first time that I'll be talking in a larger group, I'd say. So, hopefully, I share something um, useful for everyone. So, yes. So, hold on. You guys are seeing my screen naman. Okay, so today I just want to talk about makeup for scleroderma. So because for me, kasi self-care is important, and I think for everyone else who's in this group as well. I've talked to several of
Yes, we
the
can see your
guys.
screen. I can see the different brushes.
Okay, great, great. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, so I think self-care is important, especially for young people who has this disease, who's starting their ano ba, yung pagdadalaga period nila, which is, a topic that really, I think, I would love to share with this younger people especially. So, yeah, self-care is really important. So yeah, so a little introduction about me. So I was diagnosed this year. It was in February 2021. So I got a positive result for SCL70 antibodies, which is, sabi ng rheumatologist, it's solid with scleroderma. So I have thick skin on my forearm, by the way. Sa stomach ko, meron din sa trunk, and some parts of my face. So dito, yeah. So hindi pa lang siya ganun ka-obvious. And then I experience Raynaud's from time to time. I am also confirmed with interstitial lung disease, where my lungs are in moderate restrictive ventilatory defect with no significant response to bronchodilator. Ayun. So, medyo hirap ako magsalita sometimes. So, medyo nagpo-pause ako kapag feel ko nauubo na ako. So, that happens a lot. So, um, I'm also a financial advisor, by the way. So for about 9 years now, and then co-founder ako ng JDC Makeup Studio. You wouldn't believe, guys, yung business partner ko, meron siyang lupus, and she was diagnosed in 2018. So I think kaya kami nagkatagpo. Mag-classmate kami sa makeup school. So may lupus siya in 2018, and then ako na-diagnosed 2021. So we're still friends, and actually pareho kami ng rheumatologist. Ayun. So this is our studio. I just want to share it with you guys. Of course, it's pandemic, so studio is now closed, unfortunately. So this was located in BF Homes, Parañaque. So we were teaching aspiring makeup artists to to do makeup, creating portfolio for them. So yeah, so it was really interesting. I wish, if pandemic is over, and then we could set up something like this, I could set up something like this for you guys. I would be very happy. Ayun. And of course, I just want to share this quote. The most beautiful thing you can wear is confidence. Because guys, when you have confidence, sabi nga ni Doc kanina, you have to continue your normal activities as much as possible. You have to love yourself and be confident, kasi that's the only way for you to continue moving forward. And with that, it will carry on lahat-lahat. So psychologically, emotionally, physically as well. I believe in that. So the more that you are confident with yourself, that's okay. And also, one thing that I want to highlight from what Doc said earlier, the emotional rest. I know there's a lot of you na natatakot magsabi na they are worried about the physical changes. Parang medyo sila corny siguro in a way, or takot silang i-share yung part na yon of them. And I would say, guys, it's okay. it's okay to say those. It's okay na nag-worry kayo. And it's okay if you want to feel beautiful. So, yun. So, I just want to highlight that. And of course, I want to promote my YouTube channel and social medias as well. If you could follow me and subscribe to my channel as well. So, yun. By the way, this is my way of spiritual rest. Because I vlog, and I create digital content, and it's my way to release the stress from myself. Ayun. So I also want, this is just a disclaimer, by the way, content of this presentation, guys, it came from blogs, personal experience, etc., and is provided for general information purposes and should constitute medical advice and should not constitute medical advice. So product and any other content information um, of this presentation is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So it's best to always consult your doctor. So I just want to highlight that. Okay, so first topic would be, how does scleroderma affect your skin? So so when your body makes and collect too much collagen, so it says that the protein in your connective tissue, it sustains multiple type of damages, but skin symptoms are widespread in patients. So iba-iba tayo ng nararanasan. So pwedeng may lump, wait lang. So pwedeng may pwedeng iba-iba yung magiging impact niya sa atin, no? So yung skin thickening, hardening, yun. So mga obvious siya, yung iba yung mga nagwo-white. Like on my chest, meron na akong mga white dito, parang salt and pepper na tinatawag nila. So probably most of you has this, and ito yung mga tanong nyo, how it will be covered, ano yung pwedeng gamitin. Some of you has stretch mark on legs or on the tummy side, so yun. So these skin problems are both physically painful and understandably make you self-conscious about showing your skin. And that's okay. It's a normal feeling. Okay, so tips for caring for your skin if you have scleroderma. So, of course, number one, mind your skin. Number two, if you can, seek for dermatologist. Not the aesthetic one, as much as possible, the medical dermatologist, yung mga may experience for treating scleroderma, that would be best. And then third would be, of course, alam ng lahat to, I think, we should moisturize as much as possible. Kung kaya nyo 4 times a day. Ayun, so protect your skin from injuries. So I would discuss more of that later. So don't smoke. I'm not a smoker. So hindi ko alam kung sinong smoker dito, pero yun. Smoking, even secondhand smoking, guys, iwas kayo sa amoy ng yosi. Ayun. So, apart from it's bad for our skin, syempre bad siya lalo sa lungs. So, mas masama yun. So, opt for natural products. So, ako nung na-diagnose ako, nagtatry na akong maghanap ng mga natural products. Of course, naghanap ako ng medyo mura kasi mahal yung mga gamot natin. So, may mga murang products naman sa mga yung mga drugstore brand. So, later mag-share ako ng link kung sa inyo mahahanap yung mga yun. Ayun. Alright, so step-by-step skincare. Before I talk about makeup, guys, baka nag-wonder kayo bakit ako nagto-talk ng skincare. Regardless kasi of, what makeup you do, kung hindi kayo nag-skincare, hindi magiging effective yung makeup natin. So it's the foundation of the makeup itself. So first, of course, we have to cleanse our face, tone, moisture, and of course, sunblock. And guys, sunblock pala, it's more important than lotion. So kung may mga murang sunblock din, madaming options. Kung alam niyo yun, kung tight yung budget, mas unahin niyo yung sunblock. Kasi ayun talaga, lalo na kung lumalabas kayo, madalas kasi useless yung pag-cleanse, pag-tone, pag-moisture, pag-makeup kung hindi tayo nagsa-sunblock. Ayun. So, okay, for the cleanser, ano ba yung mga product na marirecommend ko? So, nag-list down ako ng mga products for cleansing. So, nag-check ako sa mga drugstore brand. So, usually yung mga Belo, yung mga, ano ba yun? Lux Organic. So, may mga sachet din siya. Ayun, so pwede niyo siyang bilhin. I think it's yung iba less than 30 pesos lang. And kung kasi kung maliit lang naman ang part ng skin nyo, tatagal siya actually. So, it's really yung nasa paggamit nyo. So, yun. So, yung mga ganong products for cleansing, okay siya. So, kung hindi rin naman kayo comfortable na alam niyo may cleanser, actually water is okay. Mas okay pa siya. Ayun. Ah, okay. So for the tone, yung mga usually this one ini-skip natin siya. So actually yung toner nakakatulong siya for the hyperpigmentation, mag-even out ng skin tone natin for a little bit. So yun yung purpose niya actually. So it's also good to have this on your face. And then, some dermas may tell you to stop using moisturizer. Narinig ko siya sa, ano ba to, sa kay Belo recently. Pero guys, for us, as you understand naman, we are dry skin all day, every day. So this does not apply to us. So yeah, it's important that we moisturize. And also, I just want to highlight that if we're going to moisturize, mas maganda yung bagong ligo tayo. Tapos hindi pa natin nadadry yung balat natin. Moist pa, may tubig-tubig pa. That's a good way of, putting moisturizer and lotion sa skin kasi malinis siya at the same time mas madaling i-apply. Hindi din siya mainit yung feeling kasi nga medyo basa ka pa. So that's a good way of doing it. So guys, you can use parang wag kayo mag-prioritize sa mga toners saka cleanser na products. I would say suggest mag-invest kayo dun sa moisturizer. Personally, yun. So, and then for sunscreen, of course, this is very, very important. As I mentioned, um, uh, regardless nung gagawin nating steps, kung hindi tayo magsa-sunblock, mawawala yung purpose ng skincare natin. So, it actually prevents skin cancer. Yun yung gusto kong i-highlight because of, our chronic illness. And prevent pigmentation. I think yung dalawang yon, actually yung tatlo pala, including the sunscreen. I think yung tatlong yon would really apply for us and it's very important. That's why I'm really promoting if you are going to invest sa sunblock and sa moisturizer talaga. Okay, and then other tips to care for your skin, ayun, protection from cold. So guys, example nagpupunta kayo sa mall, ganun. So yun, yung mga gloves, like ako nagdadala ako ng gloves sa bag ko kasi actually gloves and socks. So in case of emergency na na-feel ko na nilalamig yung kamay at paa ko, I can wear it anytime. So, kung lalabas kayo and you think pupunta kayo sa mga ma-aircon na lugar, alam mo yun, mga ospital, ganyan, for consultation. Minsan kasi 'di ba may waiting time. So, it's best na magdala kayo lagi ng mittens saka ng medyas. So, yun. Ayun. Tapos, like doctor said kanina, stay active. So, hindi naman natin kailangan gumastos for this. So, kung nanonood naman kayo ng YouTube, guys, maraming YouTube videos na mapapanood. Basic yoga, exercises. And yun lang yung ginagawa ko every morning. And then, kapag sa gabi hindi pa ako inaantok, pampatulog ko din siya. So, naglalagay lang ako ng mat. And then, ayun, nanonood ako. Hindi ko naman pinupush yung self ko na parang magaya exactly yung mga poses for yoga, pero at least nai-stretch ako. And honestly, it helps kasi nakakatulog ako. And at the same time, pagising ko, medyo less yung ngalay, less yung pain. Parang mas, alam mo yun, mas okay yung pakiramdam ko sa umaga. This works for me, hopefully sa inyo din. So that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. And then Pilates, it's something that I wanna try kaso magastos siya. So, ayun, if may budget kayo, you can enroll. Ayun, pero sa ngayon, hindi ako nag-enroll kasi magastos na siya. Ayun, so massage, I wanna emphasize yung lymphatic drainage massage kasi nag-research ako and madalas yung mga recommendation niya from parang naririnig ko siya sa mga rumor, even sa mga written articles. It's actually a good massage. Na-try ko na siya. The good thing is minamassage din nila yung face mo. Like, may steps din. Ayan. So, kasama yung face, yung tummy area, minamassage din yun. So, nai-stretch talaga yung parts may mga hardened yung part na skin. So yun. So it really helps. And then sa massage then you can also watch on YouTube yung lymphatic drainage massage for the face. Gawin nyo din siya every morning, lalo na kung nag-i-skincare kayo, pwede nyo siyang isabay. So, it's a 10-minute massage na pwede nyo gawin just to massage the face, like this area, and ito. Walang gastos, guys. Ano lang din. You're just gonna be using your hands and fingers for the massage. And it really helps. Ayun. And then, apart from that, may mga mouth exercises then that you can watch from YouTube. Like, if you're gonna do your skincare, sabayan nyo na siya ng massage and yung mga mouth exercises na sinabi ko. So, yun. And it's all available in YouTube and pwede nyo siyang gawing routine nyo na every day. Pagising, saka bago matulog. Ayun. And then vitamin supplements, of course. So, I just want to share, guys, na ako naglabasan um, yung skin yung mga skin symptoms ko nung bumagsak yung vitamin D ko. So sobrang bagsak ng vitamin D ko, kailangan naming mag-catch up dun sa with the dose ng vitamin D. Tapos nung na-regulate siya, mas naging okay yung pakiramdam ko, medyo nabawasan. Hindi na parang medyo hindi na natuloy-tuloy yung pagkapal nung forearm ko. Ayun. Well, yun lang yung sa observation ko. And then, apart from that, nagtitake ako ng vitamin E. So, yung vitamin D and E together yun, solid na siya. May mga budget din naman na vitamin E. I think may nabili ako na parang 6 pesos, 5 pesos, ganun yung price. Sorry, nalimutan ko yung brand. So, hanapin ko na lang siya. Pero yun, kasi testing ako parang naghahanap din ako syempre ng mga affordable na brand. So, ayun, chinek ko siya sa Mercury Drug. So, ayun. And then, so it also says that in previous research suggested vitamin E has an anti-fibrotic effect which can help slow down the buildup of excess tissue. So, yun. And ito nga pala, ito na tayo sa makeup for scleroderma, tapos na tayo sa skincare. So fundamentals, so ways to hide skin pigmentation using different shades of foundation, making lips look fuller, and how to match up their skin color when choosing foundation. So later, I would demonstrate kung paano ko
Wait lang. Wait lang.
Sorry.
Sige lang, Juna. Go ahead.
Okay na. Alright. So, later I would demonstrate kung paano ko pinapakapal yung lips ko. So, if friends ko kayo sa Facebook ko, mapapansin nyo may mga makeup look ako na parang makapal yung lips ko, no? So, yun. Actually, yung lips ko kasi medyo lumipis na siya compared sa previous years. So, let's see. Later, papakita ko yun sa inyo. Ayun. So, I would just like this to discuss yung step by step. Pero later, ipapakita ko yung personal way ko of doing the makeup. So, this is just a basic lesson for you guys para lang aware kayo kung in case na parang nag-wonder kayo, paano nga ba? Ayun. So, ito yung step. So, first is primer. So, primer can help you to give you an even canvas. So, yung canvas na tinutukoy dito would be our face. So, ang purpose kasi ng primer is para siya yung, familiar naman kayo sa pagpipintura ng pader, di ba? Yung gumagamit ng primer pag nagpipintura ng wall. So, it's the same concept. So, yun yung purpose ng primer. Can you skip this? Yes, actually, you can skip it. Pero kung it's something na gusto nyo pang matagalan, kunyari, wedding, debut nyo, or whatever, yes, primer should be there para mas tumagal yung makeup. Ayun. Then, color correct and concealer, I would say na considered sila as the same purpose. So, yun yung pag-hide ng mga small wrinkles, ng mga rashes natin sa face, yung mga maliliit na pimples. So, yun. So, it's the same concept for face and the body kung may mga rashes din kayo sa dibdib. Okay. And then for foundation, there are different types of foundation which will I share later. Yung mga pwede nyong gamitin. And ano ba yung best in my experience. And then step 5, of course, kung gusto niyo magka-color sa face niyo, hindi kayo maputla, then of course you can use bronzer, blush, and or highlighters. Yun. So yun, just a funny story about dun sa pigmentation dito sa aking noo. So dito kasi siya. So guys, hindi na ako gumagamit ng contour kasi parang nasa contour side na siya, 'di ba? Yun. So nakakatuwa lang na nandun siya nakalagay. Okay. So, eto nga. So, what is primer for? So, just showing you guys kung ano yung usual primer from drugstore brand. So, eto mga price nito, like the baby skin, I think the price is 130 pesos. Ayun. Di pa ako nakakita ng sachet niya. So, yun. Like I've said, if you find this pricey, you can skip this one. Especially kung daily makeup lang naman. Hindi siya importante. Okay, use of concealer, color corrector. So, ito din yung mga drugstore brand na pwede nyong bilhin. Personally, I'm using Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circle. So, Maybelline. Ito yung gamit ko. So, later, papakita ko kung paano ko siya ginagamit. So, yun. So, yun, ito yung gamit ko, personally. Okay, and ito yung other part of concealer or corrector. So, I guess ibibigyan ko na lang ng copy yung kayo if you wanna, like makabisa yung mga colors saan siya ginagamit. So, usually, ang gamit na gamit dito yung green. So, kasi nagko-conceal siya ng mga redness, ayun yung mga pimples, kaya minsan mukhang walang pimples, tinatago, ayun. So, purple naman kapag yung medyo madilaw yung skin tone nyo. Tapos meron dito yung yellow na concealer. Usually tinatago niya yung mga maiitim na eye bag sa ilalim. So yun yung mga gamit na color. So usually yung tatlong to, yellow, green, and purple. The rest, they serve as yung parang ganito lang din sila. So madami lang siyang variants. Okay, so ito yung itsura ng mga color corrector nga pala, guys. So yan. So meron, napansin niyo ito yung mga makukulay, yung NYX yung nasa gitna. So yan. So lahat yan drugstore brand. May mga ganito na rin yata sila Everbile na ngayon. So sila yung mga mura kasing brands. Ayun. Okay, so find your perfect foundation. Sorry. Okay, so guys, maraming klase ng foundation kasi there is a stick foundation, may liquid, may cream, and then may tinted moisturizer sunblock. So ano ba yung best dito? Dami, 'di ba? Super daming option. So ano ba yung best dito? So guys, kung ako sa inyo, I would go for something like the tinted moisturizer or sunblock. Huwag na kayong gumastos dun sa iba. Kasi this one has a sunscreen. So mabilis din siyang i-apply. Pagpahid nyo, ganun nyo lang sa face nyo. And then, notice na, meron na rin siyang coverage kasi. Ayun. And later, guys, papakita ko sa inyo kung paano ba siya ilalagay. Kasi, baka mamaya parang nilalagay nyo siya sa buong face. It's something that I wanna correct. Ayun. Tapos, ito naman for the bronzer, blush, and contour. So, pag bibili kayo, if you want, bilhin nyo na lang yung contour palette. Wag na kayong bumili ng paisa-isa. Kasi ito, mas mura. And then, kompleto na siya. So, may blush na, may ano. And promise, di nyo siya mauubos. Baka ma-expire pa. Ayun. So, may mga expiration din ng makeup natin. Ayan. So, bili lang kayo ng maliliit. Huwag kayong bumili ng mga malalaki. Ayun. Alright. So, ayan. So, ito na yung sa makeup. So, ito yung step by step ng paglalagay ng makeup. Kaya gusto kong i-share yung slide sa inyo para lang if gusto niyo basahin later on, pwede niyo gawin sa sarili niyo. Ayun. So, ito papakita ko how I'm doing this. Ayun, later. Ayun. Actually, yun lang yung slide ko kasi magme-makeup na ako. Ayun. Alright. So, personally, when I do my makeup, syempre di ko na mapakita paano ako nagkilay, guys. Ayun. So, this is my bare face. So, honestly, I don't like using foundation. Before I do, if mapapanood niyo yung mga old videos ko sa YouTube, I'm actually doing the steps. Pero I realized later kasi syempre yung skin ko medyo kumakapal na din siya. Pero pag ginanon ko siya, nagdi-discolored na siya. Ayun. So, hindi na ako makapit masyado yung makeup. So, what I did, I stick on the concealer and just conceal yung mga kailangan i-conceal sa face ko. So, how do I start? So, for example, on me, like, ano lang to, nag-moisturizer na ako and all. So, what I do, I would just use this. Tapos ipapahid ko lang siya dito sa under eye ko para lang medyo pumuti. Actually, yung purpose niya, hindi pumuti at hindi ma-conceal. Kasi gusto ko umangat yung mata ko dito kasi yung eye bag ko, ang napapansin imbis na yung mata ko. So, yun. So, ganun lang. Just put a little products. Tapos, itap mo lang ng hand mo. Make sure na malinis yung kamay. Hindi ko na ginagamit yung brush ko sa likod. Kasi, bibili pa kayo. So, kamayin nyo na lang. Kung wala naman kayong brush. Kung gusto niyo ng brush, sige next time. Papakita ko pa. Or yun, panoorin niyo na lang sa YouTube kung paano ko siya ginagamit. Ayan.
Juna, maybe you can remove na yung slides.
Sorry, hindi niyo pa ako nakikita. Okay, sorry.
Hindi nakikita kaya lang maliit.
Maliit?
Ayan.
Okay. Kita na?
Okay.
So, yun. So, the first, kung yung di nakakita kanina, so, dun sa under eye lang ako naglagay just to medyo paangatin yung mata ko actually. That's the purpose. Kasi, guys, yung face ko maputi and yung neck ko actually medyo malayo na yung kulay. So, pag naglagay pa ako ng foundation, ang hirap habulin ng mukha sa leeg, diba? So, wag na nating pilitin. Parang gano'n. So, yun. So, I'm just trying to even out yung mga areas na affected. So, medyo nakita niyo ba yung difference? Na parang medyo umangat yung mata ko. Hope kita ng camera ko. So, parang mas nag-pop up, parang medyo umangat yung eyes ko. So, yun yung purpose actually ng concealer. So, I do it as well sa area na to. Okay. And this is for the purpose na magmukhang pouty yung lips ko. Diba mas nakikita nyo na yung lower lip ko compared sa kanina. So it's the same for this area. Okay. And then also if na-notice nyo guys, meron na kasi ako dito sa part na to. And then I'll just hide this a little as well kasi mapula siya lagi. So guys, overall, I'm just using concealer. Hindi na ako gumagamit ng foundation. And then, I also put some dito sa kilay ko para lang ma-highlight yung kilay ko. So, yun. So, medyo iba na yung itsura ko kung napansin niyo. Ayun. So, ayan. So, by just putting that, medyo nag-aano na siya. So, gamit lang ako ng brush para to mix it. Tapos, guys, ano lang, sobrang light lang nung pag-brush ng face nyo. Ayun. One thing I also want to share pala, hindi ko kasi alam dun sa mga nag-eyeglasses dito. So, hindi na ako makapag-eyeglass kasi nagsusugat yung dito ko. Kasi manipis na. So, minsan nilalagyan ko din siya ng concealer dito para matago yung black. Kasi nakalapat dito yung salamin. Ayun. So, ayun. So, nilalagyan ko din siya dito sometimes. Medyo ano. Tapos guys, kung gusto nyo itago yung mga ano nyo dito, yung mga salt and pepper nyo dito, if you have, you can use full coverage na foundation. So, wait lang. Meron ako dito, pero hindi ko alam kung pwede pa siya sa sobrang tagal. Ayun, so, okay. So, for this, pwede nyo siyang gamitin. Ito. Ito kasi kakulay ko siya. So, yun. So, if may nabibili rin ito in sachet pala, guys. Ayun. So, ito full coverage siya. So, kung maglalagay kayo sa katawan, wag na kayong bumili nung specific for body makeup kasi mahal siya. unang-una. Pangalawa, parang halos same formula naman ng ginagamit for full coverage makeup. So, kung ano yung ginagamit nyo sa face, pwede nyo na siyang gamitin for the skin. So, pakita ko lang kung paano siya i-apply. So, usually, ang ginagamit para sa mga brush na to, yung mga flat, yung mga flat brush. So, sa susunod na session, siguro pwede ako magturo kung para sa inyo mga brush, ba't sila iba-iba. So, you make sure na yung flat yung gagamitin nyo. Kasi nga, para, flat lang yung paglagay. So, for this, lagay lang kayo ng konti, madami. Kasi mas maganda yung nabibuild nyo yung foundation kesa sa madami kayo agad nilagay. So, for this, ganun nyo lang siya sa skin. Para lang magmukha siyang even. Masyadong marami ako nailagay. So, yun. So, ikalat nyo lang to. So, kung gusto niyo talagang i-hide siya. Pero ako, guys, personally, feeling ko asset ko na siya. Parang tattoo. Dinidisplay ko na lang kasi nakakapagod kaya mag-makeup. Tatago mo pa. Ayun. So, i-display mo na lang, di ba? Pero, yun. Pero kung gusto niyo itago, ito yung pwede niyong gawin.
Tama, display na lang.
Display mo na lang. Pag tinanong, ay, ano yan?
Be proud.
Yes.
Sign
Parang
yan ng
balat lang yan.
Scleroderma skin yan. Na wala
Yes.
kayo.
Oo.
Ilan lang kaming meron
Ako lang
yan.
Ayan. So, ayun. So, make sure lang na yung color sobrang dikit sa kulay nyo talaga. So, if you go to drugstores or yung mga makeup stores, make sure na tinest nyo yung product. Ayun. Saka wag kayong magpadala sa sales lady. Tip ko lang. Kasi sasabihin nila agad, lahat, sige kakulay mo yan, pero hindi. So, trust your eyes. Kasi sarili nyo yan eh. Ayun. So, yun. So, yun lang. Saka before buying it, kasi mahal siya, di ba guys? Medyo pricey. I understand na syempre we're trying to save money. So if you're really willing to buy, before buying the foundation, I would suggest guys, let it stay, syempre itatry sa inyo, 'di ba, nung sales lady. Ikot muna kayo sa mall for about a couple of hours bago niyo siya talaga bilhin. Kasi that's when you'd know kung talagang match yung color sa inyo. Ayun. So, ganun yung i-advise ko sa inyo. So, ayan. So, medyo maglalaitan lang siya dito. Yun. So, medyo mahirap siyang i-build, lalo na kasi kung super magkaiba yung color ng face saka ng body and neck nyo na, diba? So, yun. So, i-adjust nyo na lang. So, just imagine na para kayong nag-paint or nagko-color kapag ginagawa nyo to sa skin nyo. So, yeah. So, that's the tip kung paano. Now, for the lips, this is the last part. Wala akong okay. So, for the lips, okay. So, ano bang magandang color? Para kitang-kita nyo. Let's do red. Para okay. So, let's try this. Okay. May ba tasa? Buti na lang may tasa. Okay. Tapos may, yung lip brush, kung wala naman kayo, okay lang na gamitin nyo yung tip nito. Pwede naman siya. Pero ako kasi medyo mas comfortable ako sa lip brush. Kaya ito yung gagamitin ko. So, guys, the first thing that you do, wag niyo kalimutan yung concealer. Dapat nag-concealer kayo ng mouth nyo kasi this will even out yung gusto nyong gawin. So, just put a little here. Dun sa mga dulo ng lips, dulong part ng lips nyo. Kung paano nyo gustong i-draw yung lips nyo. Imagine niyo, i-drawing nyo yung lips nyo. Kung paano nyo gusto i-draw yung lips. So, ganun. So, yung may puti-puti siya, medyo mukha kayong maput. Normal lang yun, guys. Ayun. So, yun. So, just get a little, and then, i-line nyo yung lips nyo. So, yun. Malalaman nyo ng lahat yung sikreto. Okay. So, the secret for a fuller lips. So, ayan. So, kung napansin nyo, medyo nilalampas ko siya, no? On top nung line. So una, ililinya ko muna siya. So para akong magdo-drawing talaga. And guys, it takes practice Baka isipin nyo, hindi ko magawa. Hindi siya instant. Siyempre, pag nag-drawing, di ba practice? So, ganun din siya. So, eto, dinodraw ko din siya outside. Di ba, mukhang medyo, parang naka-ganun yung lips ko ng konti. So, that's the trick. Kung gusto niyo mas makapal, it's up to you. Sige, mala na din lustre tayo, yung medyo mas lampas pa. Pwede nyo rin naman siyang gawin. Again, you are drawing your lips. So, imagine, be creative as you wanna be, kung gaano ka full. Pero syempre, medyo mukhang realistic naman, syempre, para bagay pa rin. Okay, so now, ang gagawin ko, I would shade. Di ba, na-align ko na siya, I would shade. And guys, yung pagkuha ng product, huwag masyadong madami para nabibuild up nyo yung kulay. Di ba almost dry yung ginagamit ko? Almost wala. Kasi para nakokontrol ko yung kulay niya. Ayan. Medyo kumapal ba? Napansin niyo yung difference? Okay, so yun siya. If you want it na mas full, mas pansin, just add here a little more. Pag may taas, it's okay. What you can do is, kasi nga tinetesting nyo pa kung gaano kakapal yung gusto nyo sa lips nyo, that's totally fine. You can get a concealer. Pero syempre huwag nyo ipahid to guys kasi kukulay. So kuha kayo ng maliit na brush. Okay, so kuha kayo ng maliit na brush na pwede nyong pang-line. So parang kuha kayo ng konting concealer, tapos i-line nyo lang siya ulit dito. Para mawala yung lampas. Gets? So, ganun lang siya. So, ilalay nyo lang siyang ganun. So, yun. Maayos yun na siya. So, hindi nyo siya kailangan burahin ulit. You just need to use Okay. Yes, it's hot. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Dito. Okay. So, yun. So, yun yung paglalagay sa lips. So, I hope nakatulong, lalo na sa lip part. Kasi I understand, usually yun yung pinaka-concern natin. Kasi before we have, fuller lips, tas luminipas siya, di ba, later on. So, yun. So, these are the things that you can do. And then, if you see, kanina sobrang ngayon magbe-blend naman na siya overall. The last part na kailangan yung gawin, once you put all the liquid na sa face nyo, find a powder, kahit anong powder lang. Hindi kailangan ng sobrang saan ba yung powder ko? Yung face powder, like the loose powder. So, just make sure na meron kayong loose powder and then get a brush and then ipahid nyo lang, i-spread nyo lang siya sa face nyo. Parang touch lang. Hindi ko makita yung powder ko. Okay, so hindi ko makita yung powder ko. So, basta kahit anong powder, yon, loose powder, or kung gusto niyo na talagang powder na galing sa, yung mga galing din sa Maybelline, pwede rin yan. Pressed powder, any kind of powder, you put it here. Why? Why niyo siya dapat ilagay? Una, it would keep the makeup together. So, kahit lumabas kayo sa arawan, hindi siya magpuhulas agad. So, that's the key. Kasi kung hindi kayo maglalagay nun, mabubura rin yan. Konting ganun yung mamaya pagpawis kayo, bura na yan. So, always, parang yung last part would be the powder. Also, another tip is kung maglalagay, since liquid lahat yung ginamit ko kanina, right? If you're going to put liquid sa face nyo, make sure na it's liquid. Everything is liquid muna. And then, yung mga powder products, you put it later on. Kasi hindi pwedeng liquid powder, liquid ulit. Kasi parang sinimento yung mukha niyo nun. So, imagine niyo, di ba? Parang minix niyo yung powder sa So, no, big no-no yon sa pag-makeup. So, always the liquid products first, and then powder products go after. Yun. So basically that's it. So sana may natutunan kayo, guys. So there were some questions here about stretch marks. It's the same thing, guys. You can use full coverage na foundation. Full coverage foundation. And then yung steps na nakalagay dun sa slide ko, like the basic steps, yung paglagay ng primer, moisturizer before this, it also applies. So wag niyo siyang ilalagay diretso ng nang hindi kayo nag-moisturizer, yung mga ganun. Kasi, tas hindi niyo pa-powderan after kasi hindi rin siya tatagal. Mabubura din siya. Saka syempre guys, kung magsuswimming kayo, wag na po tayo maglagay ng full coverage kasi mas sayang siya. Mabubura din talaga siya. Yun. Pero if you want to hide your stretch mark, yes, full coverage foundation would work. For the lipstick guys na maliliit yung lips, yun yung tip na masasabi ko sa inyo. You can draw your lips kasi. Yun, basta put concealer over it. So yun lang po. Salamat Miss Weng, Miss Chi.
May question dito about microblading, but I don't really know kung sa atin ba to.
Oh,
Kung may alam ka about it or
for microblading, honestly, I asked this from nakakahiya. Tatanong ko kasi ito sa mga sa ruba ko, ganyan. Even LASIK treatment, I ask, ayun. So, basically, pwede naman siyang gawin.
okay.
Pwede naman siyang gawin. No, hindi siya. Pero guys, if papagawa niyo siya, please make sure that you ask a licensed person to do it. Huwag kung saan-saan lang. Kasi, una, painful siya. Hindi siya, ano ba to, hindi siya madaling process. Painful siya at the same time, pag namali ng drawing yan, ang hirap i-correct. So make sure na yung nag-aral yung pupuntahan nyo, yung mga license. Ayun.
Okay. Okay. So I guess no more questions. Nga pala, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Juan Javier Lichauco, Dr. Jombi. He is the president of Philippine Rheumatology Association. So nandito siya, kasama natin siya sa Zoom today. Hello, Dr. Jombi. Good afternoon.
Hi, Weng. Good afternoon. Yeah, I just wanted to join the Zoom just to let everyone know here that on behalf of PRA, we are supporting all the activities of Scleroderma Sisters. So thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you very much. And since we don't have any more questions, I think we can have some closing remarks from our medical advisor, Dr. Eileen Agbanlog. Dr. Eileen, are you there, Doc? Wala yata si Dr. Eileen. Naglolo ko mga internet connection natin. No? Kami rin eh. Pero umaaraw na dito sa Marikina. Wala na yung tubig namin. Ubus na yung tubig sa garahe namin. Meron kami mga unwanted visitors eh. Dr. Eileen, are you there? I guess wala si Dr. Eileen. Anyway, I guess I will just end. We don't have much questions even on our Facebook page and here sa comment chat box ng Zoom meeting na to. Anyway, we're acknowledging Miss Mary Ann from Iloilo City. She was diagnosed 2017. We also have one member, Jerica Arellano. She was diagnosed 2019. So I guess we have to end the meeting now. No further questions. We are open for topics that you want to discuss. So if ever you have anything of interest na pwede natin i-discuss, just send us a message, either one of us or the Scleroderma Awareness Philippines Facebook page. We're always actively checking messages or comments dun sa page. Even after this telecast, we're going to post the video on the page as well as on our YouTube channel. So, yung mga hindi nakapanood ng buo or yung mga naka-miss ng session, you can watch it on our YouTube channel as well as on our Facebook page. So again, on behalf of my co-editor, Ms. Chi Policarpio, our speakers, Dr. Cleng Celino, Ms. Juna Pamela, our PRA President, Dr. Juan Javier Lichauco, and our medical advisor, Dr. Eileen Nagbalog. Good afternoon, everybody, and see you on the next webinar. Bye, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi po. Thank you.
Gusto niyo pa ng picture?
Bye-bye.
Wala kayong picture?
Ay,
Oo
class
nga, wala
picture
tayong
po.
picture.
O sige. Okay lang po ba
Videos
magpakita
on.
tayo?
Pakita ko yung t-shirt.
Oo nga, ito pa. Oh. Videos on, class picture daw tayo. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Picture na tayo. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Juna, for the lecture, for
Thank you
sharing
din
your...
po.
Thank you.
Thank you rin po.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Doc. Thank you.
Okay, thank you po. Asan na siya? Wala eh. Ay, ito. Ito.